Welcome to today's video, Matthew 6 verse 1 explained. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. This verse is part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, where he teaches about righteousness and the right way to live before God. Here, Jesus warns against performing good deeds for public recognition. The word alms refers to acts of charity or giving to the poor. While giving is important, Jesus emphasizes that the motive behind the act matters. If someone gives only to gain praise from others, their reward is limited to human approval and does not reach God. God desires a heart of true generosity, not one that seeks attention or admiration. When people perform acts of kindness with a hidden agenda of being noticed, they lose the spiritual blessing attached to the deed. Their reward is already received through the applause of others, but they miss out on the eternal rewards from the Father in heaven. Jesus is not saying that acts of charity should never be visible. Instead, he warns against the prideful attitude of seeking recognition. The goal should always be to please God rather than impress people. The Father, who sees everything, rewards those who give sincerely without desiring public attention. This teaching aligns with other scriptures where God looks at the heart rather than outward appearances. In 1 Samuel 16 verse 7 it says, "For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." It is the same principle Jesus teaches here. True righteousness is not about looking holy in front of others but about genuinely living in obedience to God. Another supporting scripture is Proverbs 16 verse 2, which says, "All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits." This means that people might justify their actions as good, but God knows their true intentions. He does not measure goodness by outward acts alone but by the motive behind them. Jesus continues this teaching in the following verses by instructing believers to give in secret so that only God knows. This does not mean no one can ever see acts of kindness, but it means that the focus should not be on seeking praise. When people give in humility and sincerity, the Father in heaven rewards them in ways far greater than human recognition. The principle in Matthew 6 verse 1 applies to all aspects of Christian life, not just giving. Prayer, fasting, and other spiritual practices should also be done with a heart directed toward God rather than for show. This is why Jesus later teaches about praying in secret, rather than making loud, public prayers for attention. The same applies to giving. What is done for God should remain between the believer and God. Living according to this teaching helps guard against pride and hypocrisy. The Pharisees in Jesus' time often sought public praise for their religious actions, but Jesus rebuked them for having the wrong motives. The lesson here is clear: God desires sincerity. He values faithfulness over performance and truth over appearance. By practicing righteousness in a way that seeks God's approval instead of man's, believers store up treasures in heaven. Unlike earthly rewards, which fade, God's rewards are eternal. If this message encouraged you, make sure to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for more biblical teachings. May the Lord bless you abundantly.